Alright, I'm going to go ahead and do a off-take of the meal of the month. I'm going to make a boxed gluten-free macaroni and cheese dinner, and I'm going to substitute some ThriveLife ingredients to show how I would make it to take it into the woods. So I'm going to go ahead and reset the camera, and then we'll get started. Alright, so I'm going to start with 6 cups of water, which I have pre-measured. That is from the directions. And so basically what I've done is I've taken, the one I'm going to make is a different shape, but I've taken an Annie's gluten-free macaroni and cheese box meal, and I have cut out the instructions, which you'll see here, right? So I've cut out the instruction panel, and then I've taken the shells, which is the one I'm doing, taken the shells and put them in a little sandwich baggie. I've got the cheese powder mix, and then according to the instructions I need to be able to add 3 tablespoons of milk and 2 tablespoons of butter, and I have used ThriveLife instant milk powder and ThriveLife butter powder, and I have put those into a little snack bag along with some diced green chili bits from ThriveLife as well. And I like to add the green chili for flavor, so that's green chili pepper pieces, and that's what you see in this little packet. What I don't have in the packet yet, and normally I would add, is ThriveLife freeze-dried chopped onion bits. And you can see those in there, and that's just freeze-dried onion. Fantastic. So when it comes time to add in all of this after I boil the pasta, then I'll go ahead and add in some of the onion bits too. But I'm just going to follow the instructions on the card. And we're going to get this boiling. So if I were going to take it into the woods, I'd use my large 2-liter pot, and I would bring that pot to a boil, and then once I had it boiling, I would drain out some of the excess water into another little cup, titanium cup, and I would drain off enough to mix the milk and butter and green chili and onions together so that I would have those rehydrated, and then I would stir them back into the noodles once I had that. And so go ahead and get the water boiling, and then I will come back and we'll go from there. I'll show you as I go along. Alright, we're back. Looks like it's about to come to a rolling boil for us. As soon as it finishes coming to a full rolling boil, I'll go ahead and add in the rice noodles. And it says to cook that, according to the instructions here, it says to cook that for 8 to 10 minutes or until the noodles are soft. And then I said earlier I would drain off, when it's time to drain off, I would drain off into a different cup enough of the water to mix with the added butter and cheese powder, green chili, and then I've added the onion bits in there. I don't know if you can see them down in there, but I've added a little bit of onion bits in there. And on the back of my card, I have pre-calculated, so I know I need to keep 1 cup of water to mix into this mixture to give me my cheese sauce and rehydrate my green chili and onions as well. Alright, so we're at a rolling boil. Go ahead and add the noodles in. And again, like I said, this is not an actual meal of the month presentation or video, but kind of a one-off along the lines of the meal of the month, where I take something that, you know, Thrive doesn't offer gluten-free pasta, and so in all of my dishes I use a different pasta. Well, in one of my meal of the month videos, I did a green chili macaroni and cheeseburger, and I'm going to do something very similar with this, only instead of doing just the pasta by itself and then all of the rest of it made from the Thrive cheese blend powder and all of that, I'm going to use a store-bought box gluten-free macaroni and cheese dish, and then I'm just going to swap out the fresh milk and the fresh butter for the powdered version and rehydrate that with the water that I drain off. And then I'm going to add in some green chili and some onions. I'm not going to do the hamburger tonight, but I just want you guys to see that Thrive doesn't have to build everything using the Thrive, but this is how we use it at home too. We use bits and pieces to make stuff that we enjoy when there aren't fresh ingredients available or whatever, but then it's also really easy. So I didn't have to take the time to measure out my powdered cheese sauce mix and all of that. I use just the butter and the milk, and then I almost always add green chili and little onion pieces to macaroni and cheese even at home, and so I used the ThriveLife version of that. So I can just condense all of that. You saw the noodles, and all of that becomes a backpack meal. It doesn't take up a whole lot of space, doesn't go bad. This will last for days out in the woods or in the mountains, whatever. So I'm able to make a complete meal out of very little space taken up in my pack. All I need is the 6 cups of water, and in fact you can actually reduce that amount of water. You don't need the full 6 cups. I've done this using 4.5 cups before because that's all I had. The sauce was really thick because I didn't have a whole lot left over, but it did work out, and so I just wanted to go ahead and do this video to show you the substituting of the milk powder and the butter powder in the dish. All right, so this has got about 8-9 minutes left to boil. I'm not gonna make you guys sit here and watch that. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off the camera. I'll get this all cooked up, and then when the little shells are ready and it's time to strain it, I'll come back and I'll go from there. All right, about 7 minutes into the boiling of the pasta, so not quite time, but I'm going to go ahead and just sample one, see how it tastes. We're close. 8 or 9 minutes should be about perfect. It's got just under a minute left here, and then I'm going to drain off some of the water, and I'm going to try and keep about a cup of it here so that I can pour it back in after I drain the rest of the water out, and we'll mix in the cheese sauce and the butter and milk powder, green chili, and onions. Got about 20 seconds left here, 25 seconds, and then I will go ahead and drain it off. All right. So now I need to drain off 1 cup. So I've got 1 cup. Got 1 cup of the water left from doing that. And go drain this in the strainer. So here is the noodles. They've been drained off. I'm going to move it off of the really hot part. I'm going to put the cup of water back in. And I'm going to stir in the cheese powder from the package. And then I'm going to stir in the ThriveLife ingredients that I'm going to add to that. So this is the milk powder, butter powder, green chili dices, and chopped onion pieces. Get that out of the way. And we'll go ahead and stir all of that in. And this is a white cheddar and shells dish from Annie's. So that's, give that just a few moments here. Rehydrate the milk and the butter. And as you can see, it's already getting really creamy. Nice consistency. I'm going to pull it off the heat, let it thicken a little bit. Get you a little bit closer here. Let you see that. Really nice, creamy, not super runny, not real soupy. And depending on how you like it, you could do a little less water, a little more. Like I said, I drained off 1 cup and held on to that. I've done it with as little as half a cup. And that was when I did it making, when I made the noodles with only 4.5 cups. That didn't leave me a whole lot, so I only kept about half a cup, maybe a little over. And it worked. It was just a lot thicker. So if you like a really thick cream rather than the standard that comes with it, that would work for you. And you can play with it to your own taste and how you like it, your own texture. But I just wanted to give you guys this little one-off to the green chili mac and cheeseburger, and show you how you can use a boxed meal and just supplement it with the Thrive stuff to make it easier to take it into the woods. I know how hard it is to take milk without it going bad, and so to be able to take the powdered milk and then butter you can get away with for a couple of days, but it can be really messy when it starts to squish. So taking it in a powder form makes it really simple and really lightweight, and you know, a couple of little baggies or whatever, and it didn't take up almost any space. It was a sandwich bag and a snack bag, took all of that, and then just add your water when you're there. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it, and let me know if you have any comments or questions, and I typically respond pretty quickly, so just leave them down below in the comments and let me know. Guys, have a great day.